Just put it with variants. Just put the variants.
The hell in the world?
Plug?
No, it's plugged in.
Oh.
If you move your... Oh no, what happened? Oh, stupid touchscreen.
I'll move the chair.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. But now we have a giant hole, yeah?
Well, yeah, can you scoot over for a bit? Yeah, whenever one moves, I think goes.
That's good. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go try to find John.
He's over the road right now.
I'll be right back.
Give me a punch. Is that the ammo there?
Hey guys, this is just saying. This is what I got from Kenesha. I think it validates what you guys are doing here, right? So hopefully it does. But it's some perspective, and so it doesn't come as a surprise. I guess, okay. I know that. Wow.
Not really that but I was like, I can't look at it.
Really?
He also provided financial information by formatted financial reports and access to reports. What does that mean? What do they do to stop this problem from happening again?
No, I mean, not me, that's you. Not you. Doesn't like me a lot. He likes you. He likes
John and Tiger.
Did you get that letter? Oh yeah. Did you? Did they get it?
I'm sure they have, hopefully. I'm gonna go give it to them, but
Oh yeah, they're reading it right now. I can see them laughing.
I don't know where I came from. But if you ask her to bring in a pie, she'll bring in a pie. You want pie? No, what is Yeah. No worries.
I guess they're going to start at 4. I guess so we can get seats.
Oh, that was fantastic. It's already up in my living room. I made it around the office here. I can't see it every day. I need a blessing. I'm going to Yeah, I know.
We're going to go ahead and get started. Take your seats. The meeting will now come to order. Let the record show that all board members are present. Mr. Griggs, would you be kind enough to lead us in the flag salute?
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Griggs. Appreciate that. And do any members of the resource table wish to be recognized at this time? Yes, Ms. Butler.
About authority to get hired under 50%. And I asked the board, if this is something you're recommending to be done. And he said no, but it still seems to be continuously happening. I mean, we have an issue going on at Mission College. We have an issue going on at Valley College. I don't understand. We're trying to change our workforce into part-time workers. But I think if the board does not step up and say something, then there's, the belief is that that's acceptable, that you would hire someone below 50% so that they wouldn't have benefits. I just wanted to know if there's something out there being reported to the administration about this that we're not aware of.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else in the resource table? Yes.
Mark Jackson, President.
And student trustee elect.
Thank you. I just wanted to invite everybody, trustees, this Tuesday, we're hosting the LA Community College District Black graduation ceremony. I know that a couple of trustees have already RSVP'd, but we'd like to extend an invitation to everybody and those in the audience as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other folks on the resource table? Oh, that will now continue to move over to the president's.
What is your appropriate time to respond to questions?
Well, we don't make a habit of response back and forth, and generally the open comments, as you know, are a place where there are comments or announcements or introductions. So I'll have
We
the
don't go back and
Sure.
forth to, and we're not allowed to respond to public speakers generally, but I just want to know therefore when and where we can
Sure.
have that discussion.
I asked the
and
chancellor
maybe
to
get an answer.
Sure, I asked the chancellor to answer to her directly. But I'm not going to go through this accountability session back and forth in public.
Yes, but can we get that answer also, please?
Sure. So Anybody from the presidents? Nope. All right, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. No, I apologize. I apologize, Mr. Frank, and then we'll continue, Mr. Farley. I apologize.
Let me put Elton Robinson on the spot for a second, but he had a student who won the junior styles competition on Wednesday for Solis, a single mom, almost dropped out of the program a few months before that, and national champion, $50,000. This Friday the 30th, it's over by the Adrian Beach site. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you. Mr. Farley?
I just wanted to give you an update on the Harbor Advantage. To date, we've enrolled 250 students, incoming high school students. They all have 4 classes consisting of English, math, personal development, and general education. By Monday, we'll be up to 350. Typically, the incoming high school students were the lowest priority, and they usually did not get a math or English class. So there'll be some significant changes with the numbers of students completing math and English by the end of next year.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other comments from our president's table? No? Thank you very much. Now we move on to public agenda items. And the First Amendment, so I read precautionary language ahead of time, and then we'll move on forward. Here's what I'm doing, folks. There's a lot of folks who signed up to speak, and I've asked our board secretary to give them in the order that they signed up. So if you're not first, do not be disappointed. This is the order in which folks signed up in 3 different groups. So I'm saying that ahead of time, and we can verify that as well. So I'll give you some precautionary language. When your time is up, I will ask you, irregardless of where you are in your presentation, to complete your sentence. And I just want to be fair about that, because we run into this every time when people feel passionate about their issues. They want to continue on beyond their allotted time. And at that end, when the bell rings, I have to stop you. And I'd ask you, please help us with that. So let me read the precautionary language. The First Amendment and the Brown Act guarantee a member of the public the right to criticize a public employee in the performance of his or her duties. However, speakers are encouraged to focus their comments on issues relevant to the conduct of the public's business rather than private or unrelated matters. If there are more than 5 speakers on a particular issue, the board has the right to limit the amount of minutes per speaker. Outside of that, you have 5 minutes per speaker. The first 2 speakers who have signed up, remember, you sign up in advance of the meeting. Those who walk in and sign up during the meeting are the ones last. So we have Bobby Gibbs and Sean Cutting. And you have 5 minutes each.
I am Bobby Gibbs. I am a student of,
of Los Angeles Harbor College. We have an issue taking place on campus regarding the food truck. It's an issue that has kind of gotten out of hand. We have 725 students that want the food truck back on campus on a full-time basis. However, there is a controversy between the culinary students, the cafeteria, and the food truck. And so we are trying to resolve the issue rather than go through a bidding process. We, myself and the gentleman who started the petition, we had 5 meetings with the president, the interim president, one VP, as well as the ASO president. And we are trying to resolve the matter. Rather than go through the bidding process, we are requesting that particular food truck to come back to campus as soon as possible. That's it.
Thank you for your comments.
Can you hear? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm Sean Petting. I'm also, along with Bobby, a student of LA College. And the issue that we're here to talk about is the food truck. And what had happened was the food truck was on there for about a two-week period, and the permit expired. And when the permit expired, there was a controversy with the culinary program. And what they were saying is, look, this food truck is interfering with our revenue, it's interfering with our business. We're no longer, because of this food truck, we're no longer able to make the amount of money that we were making before the food truck was here. But the problem is that a lot of the students do not like to go to the culinary program. They have to stay there because it's dirty, the food quality isn't the best. And so, I mean, I more than love the culinary program. I support it. We want it to thrive, we want it to succeed, but we also want options. So we feel like it's unfair for us to have to be forced to go to a culinary program that we feel like it's overpriced. I mean, we're students, we don't have a lot of money, we're student loans, everything else. We don't have a lot of money to spend on food that we feel like isn't up to par for what we're paying. And so that's basically the problem. And my friends and I included tend to not go to the culinary program, we tend to go off campus for food, which is very inconvenient because we have classes of 30 minutes and like get in now, we don't want to be late, we have tests, whatever. So that's it.
Thank you for your comments. We have the next set of speakers on different subjects. Again, I'm taking them in the way that they've given to me in order of sign up. So we have Linda there's different subjects. They're all different subjects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different subjects. We have Linda Betak, Jason Rios, John McDowell, Nihasi Lee, John Noila, and Wanda Solomon. So we'll begin with Linda Betak.
Hello, Board of Trustees.
You have 5 minutes in there.
Yes. My name is Linda Flytak, and this is an appeal for an emergency motion for the permission to appear in a play that is put on by the Advanced Directors Workshop. I'm speaking for myself, on behalf of myself, as a Latina that I am being discriminated against. I am Cuban, I'm a woman, and I'm also a woman not of college age. I believe that I am being discriminated against. I'm also speaking on behalf of 4 other individuals. This concerns an audition invitation that I received from the teacher of this class. He wrote to me that I could go for an audition. I went for the audition. I was cast. So were the other people. We started rehearsals. I memorized everything. After about 2 weeks, the teacher informed the director of this play, Jasmine, that she would not be allowed to use us because we are not currently registered students. I am a VCP member. I also have a student ID. I have been a student. I am registered in the next fall session. So I'm not like somebody out of nowhere. Anyway, the teacher did not ask us to leave, which means that he was ratifying the contract that I had with the director of the play. I tried to get an ad slip from the teacher. The teacher refused me an ad slip. He did give an ad slip to one of the cast members, but the ad slip was for a section that did not exist. This was told to me by the Dean of Admissions. She said you cannot add a class that does not exist. As far as going to other people, I went to the head of the department chair, Jennifer Reed. After that, I went to the Dean of Admissions, which I mentioned, and I went to the Dean of Academic Affairs. I also went to the president of the college. The president of the college told me that what we are experiencing is what she called growing pains. In the past, members of the community, regardless of whether they were students, currently enrolled students, or have ever been students, were allowed to participate in plays. However, in the past few months, this was changed. In the email that I received, there was no mention that you had to be a student. Therefore, I went to the audition. The director did not realize that I was not a student. The email was sent to me by the teacher. Therefore, we entered into that contract. The play is 3 days away. 3 days away. The play will be performed on May 31st at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. This will be a disaster for the director of the play, obviously, and I did hear the Board of Trustees talking beforehand about making education easy for the students, making education something that they can attain without having to go out to malls or anything like that to eat. Well, this is a similar type thing. She wants her education, she wants to be able to put her play on, and this is undermining her play. So the president said that we could sign a waiver, that was a possibility. I am perfectly willing to sign a waiver to absolve the college of any liability whatsoever. I would also be willing to sign up as a student, pay the fees, whatever. I'm willing to do anything that is possible, and the other 4 students are as well. I would also like to add that my director, Jasmine Rios, also had a lot of trouble at the beginning of the session of her class. She had to submit 5 plays in succession to the teacher. All 5 of these plays were rejected until finally she got this play. Thank you.
Mr. President, what college are we talking about?
This is LA Valley College.
Is there a legal remedy since there's a short time frame?
How about we let the chancellor refer to, well, we'll let the chancellor refer to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jasmine Rios, followed by Mr. John McDowell.
Good afternoon, board. I am the director of the play that Ms. Spytak was referring to. And I'm just going to read a statement because I think this is something that the board should know. I am a graduate of West Los Angeles College and very proud to be, as well as UCLA and Cal State Northridge with a 3.85 GPA. And there is a reason why I say that, not for any ego. I am also a veteran, and I am an officer in the United States Army, which will be something that you might want to know in the future. Anyway, I and allegedly many others have experienced a series of non-compliance and discriminatory incidents that systematically sabotage my education in the advanced directing class at the Los Angeles Valley College, primarily by the 3 members of the theater department faculty who have denied me equal opportunity and access to the theater arts facilities and education while saving all resources for their faculty-directed productions. I believe they have done that by dropping me out of a class without notice of reason, yelling at actors in my productions, this semester denying the participation of students in my production even though there was no way for the students to enroll as there was no code instituted for them to do so according to the VP of admissions, delaying the selection of suitable plays so that I would fail the class, denying resources such as the use of materials purportedly for the use of students without an explanation, denying an entire month of the use of the facilities and class last semester, denying assistance to move resources when resources were available without an explanation, and ultimately, allegedly antagonizing other students so that they did not participate in my play's productions, therefore, my having to go outside of the students. Created rules with the intention of making it impossible to continue the class, as this is a pervasive pattern. Other students have come to me with the same complaints I would like to request that these 3 individuals are precluded from further sabotage, that I will be allowed to do the play on May 31st without further discriminatory or compliance actions by the faculty. I would also like to note that we have exhausted all our resources at Los Angeles Valley College, and that some of the students all of them are from the community college district. Some of them are not enrolled because I assume that if the teacher, who was the one that sent the email and invited them to audition, sent the email, they were enrolled because I asked him to send it to the people that could be in the play. I also asked him if he had an objection to Ms. Spytak or her or any of the other people, and he said, no, I do not have an objection. I believe this constituted a contract which he ratified by allowing them to participate and rehearse up till the last minute. I hope that you guys, if nothing else, I will be gone on May 31st, and I hope that not for me, but for the other students of this district, you address the situation that's happening at the Los Angeles Valley College Theater, and you change faculty. I was also, as well as other students, was also sexually harassed by a man that's no longer there. And that is the subject of another conversation. I'm sure you heard all about that in the past. One last request is I would like all these proceedings to be documented, as I do not believe that the information is getting to you. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. So Mr. McDowell, followed by Nehasi Lee. And I apologize if I pronounced anybody's name wrong. John Noya. Thank you.
President Santiago, members of the board, and colleagues, I'm here today to raise a red flag and call your attention to a serious district budget problem that needs your immediate attention. All 9 colleges right now are severely underfunded, operating with budgets slashed year after year during the Great Recession. Colleges, and the colleges are still living as if the recession is still on. They have not been fully restored. The money that came in from Prop 30 was used to add classes, as well it should have been, but all the other services and programs that need funding are tremendously underfunded. Here's the situation. I know that the Budget Committee knows about this because you've been looking at this very carefully. 4 of our colleges are in the red. 2 are living on previous reserves they built up over the good years. And the other 3 are barely scraping by. That's a disastrous situation. Fortunately, the ACCJC is not coming here this year, but they will be coming soon. And year after year, this district has piled up huge reserves and ending balances, ranging from $66 million last year to $91 million in the year 2011-12. Far more than we need to have in reserve, far more than we need to have at the end of the year. The Chancellor recommends that we end the year with 5% of the amount that we spent, which would be about $25 million, call it $30 million to round it up. But we're ending with $66 million all the way up to $90 million. Now, during the Great Recession, our voices were muted. I was not standing here telling you we need to spend more money or send more money out, because Prop 30 was still just a hope that we had. We didn't know when a real recovery was going to occur. Frankly, it's still not fully there, although we are in a recovery mode. So it wasn't an issue then. But now we are in a recovery mode. We are pledged to the goal of student success. But I have to tell you, whether it's supplies, materials, equipment for the classrooms, library hours that need to be extended, faculty or staff that need to be hired, tutors, student workers, every line item in the budget of most of our colleges is underfunded right now. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at a district that has taken these steps. I'm going to recount very briefly the history. In 2011, we had one reserve account, a 5% contingency reserve, that we spent down occasionally with your approval. Only the board can approve spending. And we ended that year with a $90 million ending balance. So it wasn't like we were in trouble. However, the following year, you established a 5% general reserve, meaning a reserve account that is defined as one that we cannot touch. We won't spend that money. And it's at 5%, and now we're currently operating in a year where you raise that general reserve to 6.5%, and we're in your tentative budget that I've seen for next year, you will be setting aside $58 million in reserve accounts. That's about twice what we need. So I just want to, and this is going to sound a little bit harsh, but I'm going to say it. Virtually every dollar that comes into this district is earned at the colleges by running classes. Every dollar. And the money comes here to educate students and provide student services. And Prop 30 was approved to offer more classes to educate students better. And I just have to tell you, we are not going to make progress with student success unless we spend some of that money on the student services that we need. Just offering classes is not enough. And right now, we're not providing the breadth of services and assistance that students need. I see you smiling up there, so I'm getting through to you. I expect. So I just want to say one more thing. We all are committed to hiring Dr. Perry, and we're still hiring excellent presidents, right? You want excellence, we want excellence, we want leadership. You're asking presidents to come in here at colleges that are underfunded, terribly underfunded, when you are sitting on $65, $70, $80, $90 million. I wouldn't take that job. I would not want to be in a district that has money that could be used for student success and to achieve the mission of the college, but you're hanging on to it year in and year out. So I want to just end by calling your attention to this button, not the one down below. This button here says we are all City College. We are all City College. I think Trustee Swanton, you were at Valley College when
Thank you, Mr. McDowell.
So I just don't want to end up like City College and do that by spending. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well there, and thank you for the exact pronunciation of my first name, Mr. President. I learned a long time ago that it's only 3 syllables, and it amazes me how hard it is for English speakers to speak it. So I don't have any problem with anybody mistaking it and making a mistake with it, but you come close. My name is Nahasi Lee. I'm a student at the Compton Community Educational Center and at Santa Monica College. I come before you today in solidarity with the students at Los Angeles Trade Technical College and all of the 8 other Los Angeles Community College District colleges. I say that because at one time in my student career, I did represent 14 colleges in the local region in the chancellor's office as a student senator. So when I stand before you, I actually know what I'm talking about. I came back, I was at the last trustee meeting at the Los Angeles Southwest College, and this was provided to you, but I don't remember if I said anything about it. When I went to Compton is overseen by FINMAC, and this document is produced by FINMAC. It's a 238-page document that tells institutions how they're supposed to use student money and how they're supposed to assist students who are become student leaders to learn how to do the job that you guys are doing or have learned to do. So I've always, students get mad at me. Students will, I was raised in the 60s where students, they just walked out of classes and institutions suffered because they couldn't get their per day payment for students sitting in classes. So I've come a long way. I'm a process, procedural, and protocol kind of guy. So I've learned that boards of trustees are entities who are supposed to be responsive to the constituents that they have, and that at one point, only 3 constituency groups actually got to speak in regard to what happens on the community college campus. In 1988, AB 1725 got passed, had students input and impetus, and students are included in the constituency group. So I always tell students that the job of students is to present their case rationally and responsibly, be respectful, and expect for a response a responsible response from the trustees who are elected to do their bidding. As an electorate, as a member of the electorate, I know that each of you is there because of people like me, even though I know each one of you voted for yourself. So that means each one of you got one vote that you know of, and some of you got two because I may have voted for you. But you do sit there in response to everybody on this side of the table. So from my perspective, you work for us. The other thing I learned about that is all college presidents are hired by you. I've had a difficult time in my community college career understanding how it seems like you work for the college president. So the students are asking you to take the time and understand their needs and their requests and to respond to them. I was told an analogy in my early community college years. I was told that the board of trustees are like grandparents and that the presidents of the college are like parents. And so children get admonished by both sets, but a little differently. College presidents as parents, they can beat up on children and all over. They can't these days, but when I was growing up, man, and that's probably the problem today. But we've all been in families, so as children, we always learn that we can run to our grandparents and get some satisfaction, whether it was remedial or whatever. So when students come to you and sit and stand to the podium and bring their request, they're talking to you as if you're their grandparents. They look for a different kind of response than what they get from their college presidents. So, in a grandparently kind of way, taking into consideration what this 238 page, and I only gave you the back of page 7. Page 7 has everything that the students are supposed to have at their disposal in regard to the money that they collect, not the money that Mr. McDowell talked about. These are student funds that students decided we want to take out of our pocket and give to our student leaders to be able to do things on our campus. When I say Santa Monica, I always remind people, Santa Monica has a great student fee collection process. The student association there has $1 million. They usually put 2/3 in reserve. They just repaired their whole student lounge and the whole line yards out of student money. They generally spend 1/3 and their third, you said I could finish my sentence.
Yes, I did.
Their third generally ends up being about $300,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Noyola and then Wanda Solomon. So board members, here to complain about the executive secretary of the board of trustees, Carol Luciano. She called us childish for submitting our petition. My encounter with her has been awful. It's unprofessional, and this institution is supposed to be about the student success. My encounter with her didn't do that. So I just wanted to bring that up to the board. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I want to be on the record as to when I get started right now. Good afternoon, board members and everyone present. My name is Wanda Solomon, and I am a veteran student, a long time in the junior college system. I just want to let you know, I'm just going to give a dramatization. By the time I get my degree, I'm going to be like this. I did that dramatization not to be facetious, but I probably will be dead. And the fact of the matter is, I won't be able to live to see how I'm going to enjoy the benefits of my education. I'm 60 years old, and I think I've considerably taken good care of myself from age 22 to 60. And I've been in junior college since 22 years old. I've been in the junior college system 41 years. And that means I've been voting over and over and over and over for your assistance and help to get my associate's degree. It's about time I get my AA, my B. I've written a dissertation a couple of times. And the fact of the matter is, I'm a very intelligent African-American woman, but for some reason or another, I've taken like, for example, you tell me I have to have humanities, social services, political science, history. You tell me that I must have English, law, all of these subjects I've had, scholarship recruitment, general competency, and I've had my major in journalism. I fulfilled language. I fulfilled economics. Now I'm fulfilling math, the last part, which I've had a learning disability, all of my life. And the fact of the matter is, I come to you over and over and over, you're not hearing me. I vote for you, everybody said everything that's correct, properly. My 3 children, I got 1 daughter that's graduated already and got her bachelor's. And I'm the dangling participle, and I think you know what that means in English. I'm still hanging on. And I want to know I'm doing the right thing as a student, perfect attendance, no drug addictions, on time, come prepared, rain or shine, day and night, during my pregnancies. I have no living parents, no living grandparents, and I have behooved you. I have been treated so disrespectfully. I have been discriminated against in every way that you can imagine in the junior college system. And as one of the young ladies said, yes, I hate to bring that up as in front of you, but yes, I have been sexually harassed as well. But the fact of the matter is, I'm still alive, and I'm still in college, and I'm still pursuing a higher degree. I want to hand up. I mean, you all got to give me an explanation for this. I'm sure there's an attorney that will look into this, but I'm not looking for a legal battle. I'm looking for my degree, but if you want a battle, we can do that. We can do that in court, but I would prefer LA Valley, Southwest, the 2 presidents get together, graduate me so I can go on and get my BA, my MA, my PhD before I'm 80 years old. I don't have that much time left. And I want to do something good for humanity. That's why I've been going to college. You say we're lazy, we don't want to learn, we don't want to go to school. And I'm the first one in class. I erase the boards, I'm the first one in class, last one to leave. No one has given me the proper attention that I deserve. And I'm going to keep coming before you. I'm going to continue coming before you. My children say, well, why should I go to school, Mom? Look what they did to you. You haven't got your degree. You're going to school every day. And I mean, as a registered voter, I want to give you as much respect as I can, as I know how. So, Ms. Della Houston, get with President Johnson, you too. Somebody's going to graduate me. Somebody in this room is going to give me my degree. And I'm not going to wait any longer till I'm 70, 80, 90. Lord forbid if I live to get that old. I've earned it. Oh, yes, I have. I've earned my degree. About 210 units ago. I've earned my degree, so what are you waiting for? Why don't you want me to have my degree? What is it? What have I done wrong when I'm doing everything right? So I want you to look into it. I'm not saying whatever has gone wrong. I just want you to.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, President. Someone's going to work with me on this issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Yes. Two different speakers have raised the issue of sexual harassment and discrimination, which I totally oppose. Does every college student manual indicate the procedure that we have to file a complaint so that we can investigate and take care of that?
The panel also has, in the board has a complaint process at each of the colleges.
Okay, so it's up to the students.
Yes, I have followed that protocol and nothing's been done about it. You keep overlooking it.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Now we have 5 speakers on one subject, so I will read the language before me. Since the board rules provide for a maximum of 20 minutes per topic, we have 5 speakers, obviously more than 4. The board has the option now for motion for 4 minutes, limiting this topic to 4 minutes per speaker, limiting this topic to 20 minutes. Matt first. Somebody does the motion, I can't. First, you second? You have a second. Now roll call, please.
To Trustee Griffin, advisory vote. Trustee Ing. Trustee Field. Trustee Moreno. Trustee Perlman.
Everybody deserves their 5 minutes, no.
Trustee Santiago.
Yes.
Trustee Tompkins. Trustee Bernard.
Okay, we have them in this order. Marcelino Morales, Rosalind Kahn. Now, again, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. Neil Montana. You may begin.
Hi, President Santiago and board members. My name is Dr. Marcelino Morales, and I am from East LA College. I'm an associate professor of sociology, and I brought a few friends with me, and we wanted to talk to you today about a very important issue. I represent the faculty guild, and we wanted to talk to you about some very serious issues that I wanted to give you an opportunity to work with us. And that opportunity is 2 things. 1, for timely contract negotiations and salary increases. You're going to hear a lot of stories, and I hope that you listen to these stories. You're going to hear stories about the challenges that we have as professors, the issues that we have, the increased restraints we have on our time, the jobs that we have to do, the way that our jobs have changed and have become more administrative, and we've had to work on a lot of different things. I can give you a sundry of things from SLOs to PLOs to course outlines. I'm going to choose to focus on one that I think you need to hear, and that's on accreditation. I want to let you know how hard we are working to maintain our accreditation. I'm on the accreditation team at my school, and we've now divided in different subcategories, and I know a lot about shared governance and closing the loops and SLOs. But I want to tell you one key way to make sure that we keep our accreditation, and that is through the morale of our faculty. If we have good faculty morale, we will have good accreditation. The other thing that's very important on accreditation is our connection with our board. And you now have an opportunity to let this entire faculty know how much you value our hard work, how much you value what we do for our communities, and how much you value for what we do for our students. And the only way to do that is to pay us fairly. We haven't had a raise in over 7 years. I've been here for 8 years, and they're proud, wonderful years, and I've never received a raise for all of the amazing things that I do, for all of the students that I've worked with, for all of the clubs that I advised, and for all of the committees. I am not unique in this. All of these faculty members share that same exact arduous experience. So, once again, I'm going to repeat. I really hope that you guys listen to our voice and also listen to our power. We are a well-organized union. We are voters, and we are serious about this issue. Thank you.
Hello, Board of Trustees. My name is Rosalind Kahn. I'm a teacher at LACD College. Sorry about that. Is that better? Can you hear me? I'll start over. Hello, everybody, Board of Trustees. I am very excited to be in front of you all here today. I'm a member of the AFP 1521. I'm on the Pageant Issues Committee. I'm a part-timer who represents the Communication Department. And I'm here to tell you what it's really like to work in the colleges. I've been a teacher over 16 years. In the 16 years, I continuously have students come up to me and they say, Professor Kahn, you are the teacher who's changed my life. 3 years, 5 years ago, and they still come and talk to me. And so this is what I experienced in the classroom. This last summer, it was the 5th day in the classroom, and I had 5, count them, 5 of my students that I turned over to the Sheriff's Department. I was put under police protection because one of my students wrote the following. He said, I am absolutely crazy, and I don't know what I will do to you if you do anything to upset me. My sheriff's department said, I called them one too many times. One too many times. One of the students complained because in the summer school, they didn't have services available to help students need that extra helping hand. I said, I'd be more than happy to help you outside the classroom, but there's only so much I can do. Why is it that we continue to offer classes, yet the programs that can truly help those students don't exist? We have lots and lots of money. One of the things I want to tell you about is how strongly I believe in the colleges. My name is Rosalind Khan, and when Prop 92 was out there, it offered us a window of opportunity, a window of where we could have had funding, sustainable funding, that went directly to the colleges, that wouldn't be in the situation we are today. It would have given the fees that continue to rise and rise a holding place. And here we are with the contract negotiation that day in and day out does not get signed. I'm a person who is supported by all these people behind me who just want to get in the class and teach our classrooms with a budget that's passed. Why can't you help us? Simply pass the contract. That's all I ask. Thank you very much.
I do gotta say something. I normally don't respond. But just to clear it up, there was, fair enough that something needs to happen, but there was a 3% increase last year. So let's not forget about that when somebody said there wasn't an increase. And I believe the process for a contract proposal, just so we're clear, is your bargaining unit has to propose something, and you haven't proposed something yet for the board to look at. So when that happens, the board will look at it, and that's just for fairness to the board. So thank you. The next speaker, Neil Montana.
Good afternoon. Honorable trustees, respected administrators, and my valuable colleagues around me. I'm a numbers man, so I'm going to reach out some numbers for you. The numbers are like this. I've been here for 18 plus years. Our work has gone up by more than 100%. And where does that come from? ACCJC, program review every year. SLO assessment and evaluation every semester. New courses, new programs, marketing your own programs, and tons of committees. What are those blessed committees? Academic Senate, Curriculum Committee, Program Review Committee, SLO Committee, Budget Committee, College Council, so on and so forth. So you must really appreciate our work has gone up by more than 100%. That's the upside. Let's look at the downside. Downside was, these are the numbers I got from this morning, printed off of Bureau of Statistics, Department of Labor, May 15th, updated. It says our inflation has gone up by at least 2.6% per year over the last 8 years, which means I went down by 20%. My work has gone up by 120%. Right? Therefore, there's an urgent need for you to consider giving us a hefty raise. What is a hefty raise? If the cost of living has gone up by 20%, you need to compensate us at least by 10%. That is the number crunch. So therefore, I request you, Board of Trustees and the Honorable Administrators here, and I'll also give you another number. I have 25-year number right from Bush 1 presidency, 1989. In these 25 years, the cost of living index has gone up by 137%. Divide that by 25 years. You're talking about more than 5% every year for the last 25 years. Right? And you're not, 3% is puny amount compared to 20-25% increase that has happened over the last 8 to 9 years. Therefore, my humble request to you, Honorable Trustees, that you need to give us at least 10% raise. Why? I just spread all these numbers for you. I'm willing to share them. I'll make a separate note and send it to you if you want by email. So to conclude, our work has gone up by 120%. We became poorer by 20%. Therefore, you need to compensate. It's a double whammy for us. You need to compensate by at least 10%. Why do I say 10%? Very simple. I recently got a cost calculation from Social Security Administration. They said last year, your cost of living has gone up by about, 3%, 3.5%. We are compensating you by half the amount. That's the reason I say 10% or above. So I submit to you, please, all my colleagues here will support me, will back me, right? You need to give us at least 10% increase in the next negotiations that we have with you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't jump ahead. We have Grace Lee and Armida Ornelas.
Hi, it's actually Grace Chi. Good afternoon. Honorable trustees, we are here today from 9 campuses, regular and adjunct faculty. We love our jobs, but our jobs have grown and our salaries have not grown to match our jobs. We love our students. We wish the best for their success. We work hard and harder on accreditation, SLOs, program reviews, transfer, curriculum, course outlines, and we have larger class sizes. Our jobs have grown, but our salaries have not come to meet our workload. We are not only your employees, but we are also your constituents and taxpayers. And we would love to have fair and just compensation to continue working hard for you and our communities here in Los Angeles. Thank you so much, and help us to help our students and our communities here in the LACCD.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Armida Ornelas, and I'm the Chief Negotiator for the Faculty Guild. I just wanted to provide a little bit of context for the support of the faculty here this afternoon. You know, we approached this round of negotiations a little different, and with the vision of both Dr. Barrera, our Guild President Joanne Waddell, we thought we're going to do this a little differently. And we agreed to do this round of negotiations using an IBB model, interest-based bargaining. And both sides came to the table, and we had a very productive, collaborative experience. We worked hard. We came together even when it seemed that we were miles apart, and both teams collaborated. And some of us even made friends out of this process. And you know, we approached this in 2 different phases. Phase 1 was everything but salary, everything but money. And we finished phase 1 on April 3rd, guys. We've been done with phase 1 for almost 2 months now. And we're waiting for phase 2. And we were hoping that we would deliver a contract to our members in due time, you know, by June 30th when the contract expires. And we're still waiting to start that process. So I want to thank our management team, you know, for all of their support. I want to thank the Faculty Guild team for all of their hard work. But, you know, now it's up to the board to really bring this in and deliver a contract to the members. It's the responsible thing to do. Your management team, the Faculty Guild, we worked hard to do the responsible thing. We don't want to be without a contract on July 1st. So I urge you to build on the collaboration that both labor and management have set. Okay, it's a good feel right now. And as a board, I would urge you to build on that momentum, wrap up the contract, and deliver a contract by June 30th. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. We do have additional speakers on a completely different subject, and this person will get 5 minutes. If anybody does leave, we ask you to just do so quietly and be respectful of the speaker. We have Rosemary Sterling. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
The Associated Student Organization of Los Angeles Trade Technical College considers and formally commends the administrative staff of the business office and its chief financial officer as responsible for the lack of transparency in student financial accounts and the appearance of financial misappropriations of student funds as evidenced by conflicting budgets and accounting reports. The administrative staff of the Financial Business Office and its chief financial officer have obstructed the ability of the ASO to conduct its business in an efficient and effective manner that meets the needs of the timeline of planned student activities. The administrative staff of the business office have attempted to obstruct the self-governing powers of the ASO by the arbitrary creation of rules and regulations singularly created by one individual in the business office without the consent or input of the ASO. The negligence of the administrative staff of the business office in administrating checks for various events in a timely manner before scheduled events resulted in the financial duress of several student officers who have had to personal prepay for items out of their own pocket in order to meet event timelines. The administrative staff of the business officer and its chief financial officer are in direct violation of several labor laws by not paying both student workers and secretaries of the current board of the time with long delays over several months. Los Angeles Trade Technical College and its foundation has a recent history of financial scandals in handling funds designated for student scholarships and supportive services that resulted in a vote of no confidence by the faculty. The ASO lacks faith in LACCD's financial management of the student funds. Thank you.
Is this where we ask questions on TA1, or did you get a response to this?
Well, I should have been honest about what I did. I went to PA1 now, so the student won't have to wait for our analysis. So we'll discuss the issue when it comes up.
And the response that we got to the cause of actions, is this a private document or public to the student?
Yeah. The answer should like to refer to Mr. Frank. If I remember correctly, we were briefed on that last week.
No, well, we just received a document responding to various.
I don't have the answer for you, which is why I'm referring to the answer.
I'm trying to get this clear. Since TA1 is part of the public agenda request and Sterling spoke as the part of the public address, are we now on TA1 so we can address it? Okay. So on TA1, this is the petition that was submitted by the Associated Student Organization of LA Trade Tech College. And so at this point in time, the board president can entertain a motion for further discussion. If there is no motion or a second, then there would be no other discussion. But Mr. President Frank has provided a written memo that addresses some of the actions that have been taken.
I don't really have a discussion, I just have a question.
Sure.
Whether or not these responses from the administration at Trade have been provided to.
Well, can I suggest something, Ms. Perlman? If you'd be amenable to it, allow for either the chancellor or her designee to give us a brief overview. I for one, would like to know information before I approach it. Because I'm not briefed on this and I don't want to have a discussion in public about this, not knowing or haven't agreed to that. So if you're comfortable with it, I'd refer to the chancellor to have this explained to us.
So, Mr. Frank is prepared to speak and address the issues and the steps that he has taken today.
So at Southwest College, I gave a little bit of the background. I was a student secretary who was engaged for a 3-month period. It came to our attention, we did get her and the prior secretary paid. In the course, they actually did get a lot of questions about the ASO account. In digging into the ASO account, they did see some checks that looked like they were siphoning funds out of their account that were what's called pass-through checks. Where, as I said, there are only 2 places on our campuses that write checks. One is the foundation, the other is the ASO account. It's something that has attempted to be dealt with in the past. Quite honestly, it didn't get dealt with effectively at our campus. I do believe the 5 checks, I looked at it very carefully, were all, funds that were placed in the ASO account by the campus financial officer, the person who's in charge. So, for example, when Montecito retired, faculty and staff put money into the account, and then they paid vendors out of the account. I don't think it's appropriate. I think it's a commitment of accounts. It is something that used to happen quite often because there are no other ways to pay checks. I think it created an environment where, quite honestly, the students had every reason to be suspicious and concerned, and that in trying to get information, did not get the kind of information in a timely way. I believe we've been able to give them most of the information that they are asking for, and we have made changes about who's handling the ASO account. We've made changes about how it's submitted electronically, the time here, the time for our secretary and student workers. Nevertheless, like I said before, I know that they intended to ask for an audit of their ASO account. I think, quite honestly, it's hard to argue with that under the circumstances.
Following the meeting at Southwest College, I did meet with Mr. Arnold Blanchard, Director of Internal Audit, and I asked him to do just that. So I believe that if he has already been in communication with the college staff, he will.
In reading this document, it appears that you definitely have been addressing the various causes that were raised in the petition. My question still remains, is this a public document? May it be shared?
Yes, I've shared it with all of the trade tech students that are here, and I have extra copies of anybody.
Great, thank you. I assume the petitioners received a copy too.
Well, thank you, and I think I now will move on to the next subject, unless Madam Chancellor, Ms. Ring.
Yeah, I just wanted to indicate that I would like to report from the Chancellor as to the issue of pass-through accounts. There are 2 issues. One is whether we have a policy on that, and number 2, whether that policy has been violated, not just on this campus, but any other campus, just for purposes of possible further action. Thank you.
Mr. Santiago, to just put an end to this, I just want to clarify with you or the Chancellor. I think the students were requesting that an audit be done, and I was curious if, I know President Frank has reviewed this, but with Trustee Ng's request on the use of accounts for purposes other than student activities and ASO authorized activities, I believe it's part of our, within the purview of the board to have the internal auditors review the processes at, starting with Trade Tech's campus and then
report back on findings as to ways to make sure we're in compliance with all appropriate regulations.
I believe that is actually what he is going to be undertaking.
Great. And so that the students know, our administration, after having heard you, have undertaken the plan to not only audit your campus's ASO activities, but to look at it across the district. So I think that may address Trustee Eames' issue, correct?
Yeah, thank you. What I wanted to do is I wanted to get the facts first.
Right.
And then I'd like to have legal counsel brief us in terms of what our investigatory powers are at that point, and then go from there. But I would certainly feel that if the facts warrant, that I would like to see the arguments for and against having an audit at any campus where this has occurred.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe that concludes that particular issue. Now we move over to reports and recommendations from the board. No, there was only one public speaker signed up to speak publicly, so I went. Then I'm in error.
So I'm going to ask.
Not mine.
I'm going to ask our general counsel to step in at this point in time. The petition that was submitted to the Board of Trustees was placed on the agenda in keeping with the public access requirements of the Brown Act, which is contained in Government Code Section 54950 and following matters. An item is placed on the agenda. It is before the board, but in the absence of a motion and a second, no action is taken, nor does the board have an obligation to take an action on the matter. So that the bottom line is, the board is taking no action on this matter. However, the administration has already undertaken to initiate an audit.
You know what, I made an error, it was there, I apologize, I just didn't see the beginning portion of it. But it would require, as I've been briefed, a first and a second by the board to pursue.
Are you prepared for release during more than just an audit? No action by the board can be interpreted by a petition.
So the board's already undertaken an audit.
Have you prepared for the paragraph?
The board has no legal obligation to take an action on this matter.
Everything that's going to address its future.
I appreciate it.
Address the damages.
I appreciate it. I, for one, would like to read anything before I actually motion or vote on it. It's the first time I'm seeing it. So, okay, I'm not going to argue with you in public. I'm just stating my position. So there is not a first and a second. So there's no action on this item. Thank you.
President Santana, with that, I think we should just, with the consent of the board, support the actions that the administration is taking as our action.
The board can choose to proceed in any direction. I have to acknowledge official board action. There was no board action, so we move forward. That's my duty here and responsibility. If you want to acknowledge the work, you can acknowledge the work.
I believe Mr. Slunkin was simply stating that there has not been a motion in the second on this particular item, so that there is no hearing taking place, that you are endorsing the work of the administration to go forward with regards to an audit and to come back and report back to you, which we will do, and we'll report.
Thank you, Chuck. That was my request.
Yes, I apologize.
Just a quick question.
Pardon me, I understand what we're doing, and certainly it's included in some of the causes that the student was in the petition. But part of me also is very much open-minded to just open hearing, listening, going through the process. I'm trying to understand in terms of the student perspective, why, as opposed to the things that we've begun already, what is the difference of, I think there needs to be follow-up steps taken. I'd almost rather have
this hearing take place, or this conversation take place with materials in front of us. Specifically, not to say I want to dismiss any of the things that you raised, students and colleagues. I think it's important to know that, this is a put together, organized, effort on the part of students to get at some really critical core issues. I do think that the best thing for me as a trustee to help me make a decision is to have one of the best arms of our administrative process, which is that internal audit, to put together the study, bring it in front of us, and be able to make a determination. And some of that actually may educate several of the points that are listed here for your causes of actions or desired, outcomes. So, not to say that I want to deny this, but I would actually consider it after we have our internal audit performed and the materials prepared for us from the administration, but most specifically the internal audit.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes, for your comments. Mr. Grady?
Well, I was just going to ask if the board could open the hearing so that the students can all their grievances, because they did not think of one campus problem. Several campuses have addressed that committee, some other issues. So speaking as student trustee, I motion to open this for a hearing.
Second.
Yes, we have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Griggs, advisory vote. Trustee England. Trustee Field. Trustee Moreno. Trustee Perlman.
Yes.
Trustee Santiago. No. Trustee Zwonkin.
No.
Trustee Perez.
Can I make my comment?
You may make comments, but we won't be having a hearing.
Yeah, I supported the motion so that we could have a hearing with people who wanted to give us more of their opinions. I felt that it was appropriate to allow the public and the students to address the Board of Trustees. I am pleased that the administration is looking into all the issues, seems to be addressing them. None of this happens overnight, and I do hope that we will be able to have a continued follow-up and update to address all the issues, and that I would hope that the president and the students can continue the dialogue on the issues that weren't addressed in the memo that we received.
Sure.
Yeah, I support the motion. First of all, I want to thank the students for their very thoughtful presentation and the legal documents I received. I think there's two parts here. I think one is internally the board can proceed in terms of what we see as a remedy to the issues that were raised here. That certainly does not preclude any individual student or class of students from pursuing legal action. Your prayer for relief is really not a prayer for hearing. Your prayer for relief is monetary damages. Your prayer for relief is general fund special damages, exemplary and/or punitive damages, repairing of image, declaratory relief. These are legal terms, and nothing precludes any party from filing a legal action. This is the kind of relief that is requested of us in other areas. And so if such a situation does arise, you may wish to direct that part of your concern to our legal counsel. But I think, notwithstanding your legal action, I do think that the issues here that have been raised are important. And I personally would like to review what our findings are after we go through the audits. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, and thank you to the students that came. The board will be taking a look at the report, and we do appreciate you bringing this to our attention. Thank you. Thank you. Now we move on to